It's the only time I'm going to say this to Phoebe. You're obviously not a dickhead. Don't,
I'm going to have that on a t-shirt. I'm going to repeat that.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm seeing.
This is
I
know, you're here for history.
Yeah.
That was somewhat of an anticlimax, but if that's what you think,
yeah, and
the best
I will
movie,
die on that hill.
And I will just
Are
look
you
at
not
your...
that passionate about Shrek 2?
No.
I think
Are you trolling?
No.
Is that everything?
Hello and welcome back to
Is That Everything?
I am David Thomas.
I'm Phoebe Mills.
And we're joined today by comedy man himself, Daniel Mckeon.
Hello.
Hi,
Thanks for
Dan.
having me. How's it going, guys?
I realise actually because I've known you a year or two now.
Yes, I think so.
I've never actually asked. What's your fucking problem, Dan? No, I've never.
Just throw your weight around like that. Why are you always just bad?
I've never actually asked if I'm pronouncing your surname wrong.
Yeah, to be fair, I never really correct people on it because it's like, however the spirit moves you, it's fine. But I would say McKeon, but like...
McKeon.
Yeah.
Okay.
McKeon. Bless you. Yeah, I'm glad we've got that in 4K now.
Yeah, you've got me owning up
promoters,
to spending like 2 years of getting your name wrong.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Dan.
Well, I'm Daniel.
Hi. Tell us... We'll do a Josh. Tell us a fun fact about yourself, Dan. The worst interview question.
Oh gosh.
No.
No, I can do this. I can do this.
No, you actually don't have to do that.
No, he does now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now he does.
No. A fun fact about me is that I once saw Hillary Clinton in an art museum. Pretty good. Listen, because
that is good.
And I only bring it up really because I thought you know when you see a politician, it's not like seeing a celebrity where you're like, oh, there they are.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't sure, and I went to my friend like, I'm pretty sure that's Hillary Clinton, and they thought I was talking about the artists or the painting, and I was like, pretty sure that's Hillary Clinton. They're like, no, that's the artist's wife.
No,
I
it's
think.
expressionist. Like
no,
to me, that's Hillary Clinton.
It was like a Kandinsky. Like, you see, you're still in Hillary.
Looking at Picasso. God, that's Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Actually, and that is a fun fact. Fair play.
That is well done. I just meant being like, tell us about yourself. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a comedian.
No, but also, I am also.
I saw Hillary Clinton.
Also a comedian.
Just been to the Fringe.
We can get into that if you like. Yeah, I just did my first show at the Edinburgh Fringe, which was really fun. I got 3 different kinds of ill.
Nice.
I didn't have a full breakdown though. I just felt very like.
That's good. That's good going.
On edge, and it was great. It was a really fun show. It was like self-produced and did my own PR, so I got some nice reviews.
Nice.
I stayed with my brother. I didn't have to cancel any shows for numbers, which some people had to do, so that was nice.
That's great.
And it was really great. It was all just like it was cool just hanging out with people. And Edinburgh's such a cool city as well. It's like the best. Although I was on the cusp of a breakdown. And I found, because I know you guys, as servers, and because I worked in hospitality for about 7 years, I think, so not quite the heights, not quite the veteran status. I didn't get
We don't want to have veteran status.
No.
Just gonna put that. That was never something we came out of school being. I want veteran status in hospitality.
Yeah.
I just don't want to have the stolen valor of those extra 3 years because I feel
you
like
take those stripes off.
No, just like I'm on like I'm a yellow belt, and you guys are the full black belts. I feel like
7 years. You've put your dues in.
Yeah.
7 years.
It was a long time, and it was very but because of that, my pet peeve now is when people are like needlessly difficult. I get like unreasonably upset about it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a kind of like, I'm still flying the flag for you guys.
Yes.
I still feel And when I was on the cusp of my breakdown, that went into overdrive because I was already upset. So I'd see like, there was a cafe called Not Just Coffee, and I was so angry because I was just like, all cafes are not just coffee, actually, obviously. And then the coffee was like £4.10, and I was really mad about that. And then there was a guy in front of me, right, and he kind of storms to the front a bit. Like, he's in front of me in the queue, so it's fine. He's not coming up in front of anybody. And he goes like, you had a delicious sweet treat here before. Where did it go? Like that. The guy's like 40, and they're just like, oh, I think we ran out. And it's like, will you get any more? Will you get any more? And then he's like, oh, maybe, we'll try and get some more. And then he goes like, and then he basically goes, I think that was it. Sorry, he rushed in front, and then he went back to his place in the queue because he wanted to check. And then he gets to the front, he's like, you haven't put it out yet. You haven't put out the sweet treat that I want. And I'm just like, you're 40 years old.
Where's my little sweet treat?
I need my treat now.
I need my sweet treat.
And it's just, I couldn't, I was inconceivably, I was just like broiling because also like all my synapses fire and being weird. I just couldn't, and I thought about him all day. It was one of those weird like
Sweet
Larry
Treat Man.
David things where Sweet Treat Man was just bothering me forever.
I once in a Cafe Nero saw a woman. You can get porridge in these modern cafes nowadays. You can get porridge.
Not just coffee.
You can get porridge as well. It's not just coffee.
Yeah.
And this woman ordered porridge, and then she tried a bit and went no, and passed it back. And then
I just wanted to give it
they
a go.
carried on heating it up, and then they got it again.
They just
She's
kept
like
taking it
Goldilocks.
back.
She was
Wow.
like no. And I gathered she was like a regular, and she always comes in and has her like, it was like 5:30 p.m. and she always has her like mid-evening porridge.
Oh, that's so weird. I really hate that.
Yeah.
But no, it was great, and it was it's kind of it was a cool. Have you guys been to the Edinburgh Festival?
No, it's been on my bucket list for so many years.
We'll take the show up there.
It's one of those. Yeah, we'll take this. But my friends will be like, I've got shows, and I'll be like, yeah, awesome. Okay, I'll come up. Oh yeah, I need a massive budget. I need to actually plan. So I'm feeling like next year, I'm gonna have to like factor it into, that's my holiday for the year, is Edinburgh Fringe, unless I take, because it's always been a bit of a dream of mine to write a show and take it up to Edinburgh Fringe.
Oh yeah,
absolutely should.
Like,
the theatre
would love
is
to
really
do
good
that.
as
Yeah.
well. You get some really nice, really
forget
cool
that
shows.
aspect
Like,
of it.
Because a few years ago, me and David, people might not know this, but we're playwrights.
I forget it sometimes.
Yes. But in 2022, our friends have a theatre company called Gutter Street.
It's a great theatre company.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in.
So good, so good. And one year they decided to produce plays from 3 different people. I think it ended up only being 2 though.
Yeah, somebody pulled out.
Because someone pulled out, so it was just me and you.
Yeah. That's cool.
And David did one first, and then I did one to follow on.
Okay.
So you did yours it was about an hour. The play was about an hour, and you did it. What theatre was yours at?
All I can remember is it's a Fringe theatre in Camden. So
was it the same as mine, the Etc. Theatre?
Oh, probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
okay.
I've performed.
There we go, yeah.
I
Have
did a
you?
split bill there once.
Oh,
It's a lovely
It's
space.
gorgeous. We love the Etc. It's lovely.
It
We
was
love the
way too
etc.
theatrical for what I was doing. It felt too like, this is
Yeah.
because it's like a black box setup,
Yeah, it's a
right?
black box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it always it makes you feel like you're doing like a weird, like depressing one-woman show.
Shall we get on to the main meat?
Let's get
of
on to the
podcast?
main meat.
Perhaps one of the hardest acting roles there is, which is working in hospitality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So many actors are waiters
Yep.
as well, because it's part of the craft, you know?
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the fact that these acting jobs don't always pay very well. Right, have you got
a story
that
to
you'd
kick
like
off?
with?
Well, the thing is, I've worked in hospitality for about 7 years, and then when COVID hit, like many people, I was like, I've got to get out of this. Although I did work. Are we counting front of house?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's customer service.
100%.
So
That was very much like.
I count my front of house jobs as customer service jobs.
Yeah, but what I decided to do, because I've had a lot of different jobs over the last 7 years, is I've written down all the jobs I've had.
Okay.
And I thought whichever sounded the most interesting to you guys, we could pull a story
out of.
from
Okay.
that.
Go on then.
So whoever bought me this notebook, I am using it.
It's a very nice
I
notebook.
think
That
it was
reminds
for my
me, I
birthday,
need to
I'm
get
not
a new
sure.
notebook.
Mushroom Medley Journal is what it's called.
Nice.
Which does make it sound like some kind of soup. Okay, first job was, I'll speed run these. So working in a charity shop, pouring pints at Twickenham Stadium, selling rugby merch at Twickenham Stadium, bar stuff at the Rose of York, which is a Sam Smith pub, for those that don't know.
Oh, wow.
Working on a building site. I was a steward at British Summertime Festival. I was security at Glastonbury.
These are these are really tricky to pick from.
Yeah.
I know. I was then a podcast producer for an audio journaling startup.
Do you want another job?
And I was a barista at Olenstein, an intern at a Twitter alternative platform startup, a student accommodation salesman bot, and then a receptionist for a marketing collective, and then also, I guess, a comedian, if you count. But I feel like if you added up all the money I've earned in comedy for the last 7 years, it's basically like lunch for all those jobs.
Right, yeah. Either Twickenham Stadium, or what was the first one you said again?
Working in a charity shop.
Oh, in a charity shop, I feel like you get some characters as well.
Charity
That was
shop.
voluntary work, if that helps. If that's
Yeah, that still counts. You're still serving customers. I charity shop intrigued me.
Yeah.
But also I wanted like either British Summertime or Glastonbury.
British Summertime was a fascinating festival because it was run by Barclaycard.
Right.
So you'd be walking around. Firstly, you're walking around and they basically this I forget the name of the company. Actually, no, Kingfisher Stewarding. I will protect them no longer. They knew.
You hear that, Kingfisher Stewarding? Your days are up.
No, because they basically got a bunch of like 18 to 19-year-olds, threw them into high vises, and then gave them like way too much power. And we would basically have to pull people out of the crowd when they were in trouble. So British Summertime Festival was a London festival. It was sponsored by Barclaycard, and I remember that because they had the ads on the big. On the billboard or the screen, there'd be people just going like, "We love you, Barclaycard," like that.
Yeah.
And it was quite surreal because then they would also, the front few rows were like high price tickets, so you could buy to be in the front, and you'd see random people like Sadiq Khan was there one day, and I'm just there like, and I'm protecting his life, you know.
Yeah.
And I know because we're about the same height, and that's a new experience for me because I'm very small, so it's not usually the thing. Anyway, but this was the one story I wanted to tell was Justin Bieber was headlining.
Oh, wow.
Which was a big deal. And he was kind of mid mental breakdown at that point, and he was late.
As he is again.
And I know it's like you know that a new equinox is beginning when Justin Bieber's having.
He's having his like Britney Spears moment. You know, he has got his shaved head now. He's being very erratic. Although Britney Spears was never like really, really horrible to her wife, and you know that's the difference. Justin Bieber is horrible to his wife.
It is funny that you can rank his public breakdowns just objectively. You'd be like, it's not quite as good as his older stuff.
Yeah,
so I was quite because when he was throwing eggs.
That's when he was throwing eggs and pissing in buckets and stuff. That was the real high. You sold out, man. Now you're just yelling at paparazzi like a sellout.
Maybe he was visited by Dan the plumber.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he was performing, and it was very hot. Because it was British summertime.
Because it was
Believe it or not, it was hot, and it was pre-COVID. So what they did was they put all these plastic cups in a big bin and filled it with water. But the thing about black bins is they absorb all the heat.
Yeah.
So it's like liters of water, it's like 8 liters of water, and we would stick our hand in, scoop up the water, and give it to people. But as I say, it was really hot, so the water got warm to the touch, so we're passing it out and like trying to keep people alive like by contractual law or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we're handing it out, and then I give it to this one. There was this this week you give us this one Scottish woman, and she takes a sip and goes like, "What? Like we don't want any of your fucking soup." Like that. But then Justin Bieber shows up, and I don't know if you know this, but he still has the pull on Beliebers, like he still has that.
Oh, I bet.
People still go crazy, like
I have a mate who's a believer.
To the point where they were sabotaging my good friend Reby. But they're losing their minds. Like they're trying to sabotage. Like Tovlo, the singer, was on before Justin Bieber. And they were like, "Don't sing, don't go. We need to save all our energy for Justin." So it was very weird. But then Justin Bieber shows up. He is out of it. Like he is not present. He's not. He walks out. He's like still in his pajamas. It feels like he's unshaven, and he starts doing the song. He's like, "What's up, London?" And then they're all just like, "Yeah, well, I'll die for you, Justin." Like they're going crazy, and then halfway through, and it's all going great. They're getting what they want, and then halfway through, Justin is like, "Oh, you guys are so great. You guys ever hear? I'm a little sick." And they're like, "No, Justin, we love you." And he was like, "I'm a little sick. You guys heard of Vapour Rub?" And they're like, yeah. you could hear the timbre of the chair be like, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what is that?" And then he goes like, "Oh, when your gran like gives you a bit of Vapour Rub and she rubs it on your tummy and you're
so they're like they'll die for Justin Bieber, but they're like, "Do we want to endorse Vapour Rub?" Are we
No, they're just like,
yeah.
They just didn't know what to do with it, and he's talking about like, "Oh yeah, your granny rubbed it on your stomach and it made you feel better." And she's like, "Oh, you gotta have the Vapour Rub," and they laugh like, good one, Justin. And then he goes like, "Anyway, with Vapour Rub, life is worth living," and then starts singing his song "Life is Worth Living," which is like an anti.
Oh,
It's just like, but I don't think it was like a paid sponsorship.
No.
I think that's just his.
He was
brain.
like, "How do I link this?"
Yeah.
He's like, I thought he was going to say,
"Get out of this! I've really dug myself a tunnel here. I've really got loose." I think
you're going to say, "Be like, and please welcome the Vapour Rub dancers." And it becomes like Justin Bieber sponsored by Vapour Rub.
Yeah. But it was so surreal, and they like, but I think his brain is soup. So like he just didn't. That's just how his brain works.
I don't want your soup.
That's what's like, soup. he just starts talking in endorsements. I think that's what it is. Like he doesn't know how to communicate anything else.
Bless him.
So that was the weirdest thing that happened.
I feel like I never expected Vapour Rub to come into the mix.
No.
He kept us all guessing.
So
yeah, he really...
Yeah.
I think that was also when I think the next day it made the Daily Mail of like Bieber's weird rambling set at British Summertime Festival, and then I think he decided to get help for whatever that was worth.
Yeah. I don't like the big bucket of water situation. Yeah, like if you're constantly it's just one big bucket of water for everyone, and you're just sticking your hands in and giving it, and then sticking your hands in. Can you imagine the dregs of
just
that?
psoriasis. It was pond scum by the end of it. It might as well have been like a witch's brew. It was so rough.
You could actually make soup in there.
You guys must have had some similar like bad hygiene situation.
I know someone who's going through a very bad hygiene situation currently at work, and I am gagging to tell it on this podcast, and I have not yet got permission because it's still an active investigation.
Okay.
Oh my god! For legal reasons, I've never worked at anyone hygienic.
I can't tell
you.
But yeah, I really want to bring it on. But
Next
no,
time.
Most of the stuff on our podcast has been poo, really.
We have had a lot of poo.
Poo is
tough.
Poo is, you say that like it's nothing, but poo is bad.
No, but the thing is, there's so much poo in hospitality.
And you'd be surprised the variety of ways that poo comes up.
Yeah. In fact, I have...
Have you got a poo story again?
So David told a story in one of our previous episodes where he walked to school with a mate, and his mate shook a poo out of his leg. This story came from a friend of mine whose dog I'm training, and
nice.
They were saying about the story on the podcast how it reminded them of this, and they've written it to me like a proper story. So I'm going to read it to you as if I'm almost like I'm telling you a bedtime story.
You're a woman of many talents, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Dog trainer, playwright, actor,
CBB story time.
Yeah, there we go.
So should we sort of like get...
Yeah, I just want to say
first
thing that they told me is they said they're so grateful that someone has finally created a space for the woes of customer service to have their moment, and I hope you enjoy this one.
Yeah.
Big up to us.
That's so lovely.
Boom.
We'll fist bump you anyway.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
We going across?
Sure.
Yeah, boom, thank you for being here.
Because little known fact about Dan, if you don't fist bump him, he goes feral.
This takes place in a little part of London called Greenwich.
Big up.
Pints and punchlines. Let's set the scene. We are in a large pub on the Thames front in Greenwich. The theme is nautical, and all the staff, including myself, are wearing white and navy stripes with denim.
I think I know what pub this is.
The pub itself is 2 floors, seats 250 people, and looks like a giant donut. So this story happened one weekend afternoon. We were due to have a children's party happening upstairs, so I was busy spying from the balcony, waiting for them to arrive. I saw a man wandering up the stairs, not uncommon, this is where the toilets were, and then I looked below him and saw a gaggle of 10-year-olds coming up through the entrance, so I swung into action, heading to meet them at the top of the stairs. To my absolute disbelief, the man I had just watched wander up to the toilets hadn't quite got there in time and had in fact left 4 small piles of shit on his route between the stairs and the toilet.
With all these kids in tow behind him?
No, they were waiting at the bottom.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was going to...
At the top, based on the perfect spacing, I can only assume fell out of his trousers as he was walking.
Oh my God.
At this point, I was more aware than ever of the gaggle of about 10 or 15 10-year-olds that was starting to ascend the stairs towards the perfectly spaced piles of shit. There was no one else available upstairs with me. I ran to the balcony, shouting down desperately to the bar staff to stop the children coming upstairs.
No, will somebody think of the children?
To which they all rightfully wanted to know why. Because the longer the children were downstairs, the longer the children were their responsibility, and none of them wanted that. I then had to start shouting without attracting too much attention, like a whisper, but also a shout, "There is a poo! There's a poo!" Thankfully, they didn't question this, and they halted the children. It was at this point I grabbed my manager, because I was absolutely not scooping up human shit for minimum wage.
So fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely fair.
Where's the line? That's a union.
I know,
that's
exactly.
a union issue.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
By the time the man left the toilet, again, his poo had been cleaned up from the floor by that point. And he played it off like nothing had happened and just wandered back downstairs to join his wife, who'd got them a table and bought him half a Guinness. He completely played...
Sure, yeah.
Better to stay with a half.
Yeah.
I call them baby Guinnesses personally.
He completely played off that anything had happened, except it absolutely had happened, and his shoes and socks were covered in poo. The smell was not
and the
okay.
Socks, no.
Yeah, the smell was not okay. And it started...
You don't say.
And it was swarming half of the floor. My manager then had to go and ask him to leave. And in her doing this, we all got to watch as his wife heard about this for the first time. After they left, my manager removed the chair that he'd been sat on, abandoning it into the bin sheds, where it stayed and haunted me for months.
Yeah, that's...
Wow.
Do you think she was just like, oh, Richard, not again? You can't keep shitting in
But this
public.
is why you lost a friend in primary school
Yeah,
when you were a kid. Because you walked to school and you just fucking shat out your leg and you've done it again and now we've been thrown out of a... Can you imagine
He
though?
was being removed going, where's David? Where is he? I
that's
know he's
David
here.
here. Just,
Do you know what? That is,
His
it's booked about
squelchy
top
shoe.
and bottom ways to ask for divorce. That is cause for divorce.
Yeah.
If you go to
Yeah.
a restaurant and you get thrown out because your husband has shit
Yeah.
himself and not only that, surely did he not check his, like, he must have known I've shit myself
You
and
would
it's
think
come
you would
out.
at least get a member of staff.
Yeah.
As embarrassing as it is, you'd go,
You'd be like, look,
Listen, I didn't. You do it like, you know. Have you ever been in a toilet and it clogged, but you don't know it's
Yeah.
you, and you're just like, this wasn't me. It's tough for this guy because it was definitely him. You can't be like, someone shat on my socks. I don't know.
But you wouldn't
it wasn't
think
me. But
someone's pooed in my shoes.
someone's like, oh, what is this?
This
All
is
this
the thing,
poo? It's
though.
ridiculous.
If you knew that had happened and you'd gone in, he's gone into the toilet. It's not like it happened. He played it off and went, "Oh, I don't need the toilet now." Went and sat back down. Like he went into the toilet. Surely you would check your shoe and your socks to see if it's there, and either take the sock off and throw it away and clean the shoe.
Yeah.
It's a day ruiner for sure.
Oh my
I don't really
gosh.
want to be outside at that
Yeah.
point. I do wonder if they chucked him out and he's like, "Excuse me, I had a poo." They left behind.
Excuse me, did you see the shit that I dropped?
Well, at least let me have the
I
shit.
seem to have lost a series of 4 small poos.
Did he just not
Perfectly spaced as well. It's like boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Was that all that was written? Was that
No, that was everything. You got a story?
Yes, I have. I don't know if there's any... Okay, no, this isn't to do with poo or pee, actually.
Nice.
What a nice change of pace.
I know,
But
lovely.
a secret third
I
thing.
know.
Murder.
Vomit.
Yeah.
So this comes from Jess on Instagram, who said, I work at a thrift store. So I don't know if they're in America or if that's just
Probably
colloquialism
is.
that's made its way over here.
Yeah, maybe.
I work at a thrift store. We had a... we had a customer we called Fire Lady, as she would often tell us her house burnt down and we needed to pay for all of her items. Her house must have burnt down at least 7 to 8 times. So, did it. Yeah. Anyway, we close at 9 and she comes up to the cash till at 8:55 with 2 shopping carts full of items. And every time she goes through every individual item with you, every time she goes through it, she asks to go through every individual item with you to decide if she wants it or not. She says, I've spent...
Oh, no way. This person's kind of legendary, actually. That's seriously like, do I want this? What do you think? Like, trying to break down the consumer's need.
She says, I've spent upwards of 3 hours, genuinely, with this woman at the till. Also, if you do anything, she'll get extremely mad at you. Yeah. She expects you to stand there silently for the entire time. She's doing her thing whilst eating an entire cake, followed by 4 question marks. She then drops the cake into the shopping cart and proceeds to stick her head into the cart and begin licking the frosting and bits of cake off these second-hand items like she's bobbing for apples. Then
nothing wrong so far. Not an issue with any of that.
Get your cake in, Yeah. Then suddenly she says, I need to go ask if my boyfriend is going to break up with me, and runs out of the store. She left her purse that had EpiPens and medications in it, and we've never seen her again. I don't know if she might have died.
That was fun until it really wasn't.
Yeah.
That was one of those
That felt so baby reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And like I had a really tame version of this. Well, I used to work at Staples, which I can say because they no longer exist in the UK anymore.
Yeah,
Do they not?
And they went bust.
Oh,
It was
I
one of
did
those
not know
ones
that.
where, as we were saying about managers who very like you've got to upsell everything. And
Yeah.
everything has to come with this, and this. They did that instead of just lowering prices, and
Right.
the company went bust.
Yeah.
So there was an old guy who used to come in. It was always 5 minutes to closing, and he would always get one big, I can't remember what they were called. Oh, big useful box. Like for the storage boxes.
Okay.
And he would always ask us to price match it, which we did, with it was like nearby like Ryman's and WH Smith's. And every time he would go, okay, but I don't want to give the money to Ryman's, and I don't want to give the money to WH Smith because I like you here and you're all very nice, and I want to give the money to you. So leave it with me. And then he'd go home, and then he would do the same thing.
Let me
night
have my
by night.
people talk to your people, and we'll
Yeah.
figure out a
figure
time
it out,
we can get a
yeah.
diary. We don't
It's
have
convenient for both of us.
He
I don't
never
need to make
bought
this purchase
anything.
now. I
No,
just
no, no.
let me
No.
consider further.
Yep.
And
He never bought anything.
That's weird.
And I just think like
Yeah.
he just wanted maybe the human connection. He didn't know how to because if he came in and just wanted a chat,
Yep.
I've workplaces where customers do that. That's fine. That's part of the course.
that is the motivator for a lot of these things. Like a lot
Yeah.
of the time in customer service, what they're really upset about happened about 10 years ago.
Yes,
And it's not.
And now it's
yeah.
your problem.
Yeah, and now it's coming. I mean, I think her house might have burned down at the same time that her boyfriend was maybe going to break up with her.
25 years
25
ago.
years ago, yeah. And it's just happening again and again. Like we had.
She might have actually believed it though. She might
Yeah.
like, genuinely believe it's
Oh,
about
yeah.
to happen or happen.
But imagine this woman
she
is
needs
actually
help,
telling the truth. Imagine
Not
that
charity
woman's-
shop shopping.
Yeah, give her the cake at that point. You can take the cake.
Imagine
yeah.
her house actually burnt down 8 times and her boyfriend's leaving her because of it. Like, and that everything she said is true.
I remember I worked at Olenstein, the Danish chain.
Yeah, I
should
think
know
it
that. I just forget everything. They sever you. I forget
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
As soon as they're out. And like there's a woman who came in and she they let you can pick out your own cake. I don't know if you spent time. And I was like, yeah, come on through, and then you pick it out. I'll grab it, and you put the plastic gloves on. And then she goes like, I want that one, and then grabs the this like apple pie which has this like caramelized apple
Oh, yeah.
on the top of it, goes like and like I see it like oh,
Yeah.
oh, and I start reacting like in real time because I wasn't expecting her to do
Yeah.
it, and it's quite a hygiene issue.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I start going like okay, fine, good, and then she kind of throws it down on one of the bigger plates, and for the Olenstein heads, they'll know you're supposed to put the cakes on the smaller plate.
Oh,
But- so
no.
I move it to the smaller plate, and then she goes like, why can't I use the big plate? And I was like, and then at that point I'm like, okay, fine, but you can have anything you want.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
go,
yeah.
And I'm out of here. And then I was
She's
sort
like,
of
I'll grab more of them.
no, and then I was just like, okay. And then after I was like, at the end, she was beginning to pay, and I was like, just so you know, for next time, it's more of a hygiene issue if you just point out the cake that you want,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
grab it for you. And then she goes like, it's like it's not a hygiene issue because my hands are always sanitized like that. And then she just walked off, and it was very like, but at the same, it was like there was no winning. It was like
No.
you're just gonna
Yeah.
kind of tornado through
Yep.
this, and
But also
mess
then,
around.
if she's convinced that it's not a hygiene issue, you have to be like, well, then it's a decency issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
a
don't
respect issue.
Lean over a sneeze guard and start grabbing food.
No,
from
truly,
the floor.
it's a very like there's that thing that people have, and I do feel.
She sanitizes them before she goes in. Here I go, grab it again.
Who knows what I'm gonna grab?
When I was a toddler, I had a big chocolate cake in front of me on my 2nd birthday, and
must
there
be
was
nice.
a video.
I feel like this is going to explain a lot
the-
about you.
the-
It's just a story from
There is a
Matilda.
video, and if I find it, I'll put it in. But I really don't think I have the video anymore of me as a toddler, of them, everyone singing "Happy Birthday," and they come with the candles on, and they're like, "Happy birthday, dear Phoebe."
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
go straight in.
I love that.
that.
It just to jump off of that, I need to I'm still very young, of course, but I've been invited to a few more 30th birthdays recently.
You're preaching
And,
to the choir here.
You're
in the 30
you were so
clubs.
young, yeah. Oh, okay. No, I was just like, so it's just so hard to relate. You know?
Yeah,
no.
That's the generational divide.
No, we've had our 30th.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I had a thing where every 30th I've been to, I've stolen too much cake.
Yeah.
And we're talking like 4 slices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from a similar childhood need of just like not knowing a lot of people or something. Being like, oh, fuck, I'm having fun. Because 3 slices is like pushing it already. 4th,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, it's actually pretty fucked up what I'm doing. Like, there's
God.
not.
I can, like when there's cake going around at a birthday party, I'm that person that's just like, give it to me. I want it now. And then they give you like this big, and I'm like,
it's cut like paper thin.
It's cut like paper thin, and I'm like, it's not a piece of cake. But still, I just want the cake. And then I'll wolf it down in 2 seconds. I'll be like, I want more cake, and I'll be looking at people, and some people, and I'll be like, who doesn't want to finish their cake? And I'll be straight in there. And if there's any cake left over, people have like forgotten the cake. I'm looking at it, being like, is it rude if I have some more cake? When can I ask for more cake?
That's exactly. I feel
this has deeply awakened something within you.
Yeah,
I need the cake. Where's the cake? Another slice of cake. Give me more cake. That's the cake. Stop picking enough. Have we got time for one more story before we do our little game at the end?
Yeah, we definitely have time for story. Shall we revisit Dan from Cardiff?
Oh, is
Plumber Dan?
Yeah, Plumber Dan. So last episode we had Dan from Cardiff.
If his previous story was anything to go off, you're in for a treat.
Keep fighting the good fight, Dan.
This is called The T-Shirt Man. So this is from Dan from Cardiff. I had a call to look at a leak in a kitchen. I turned up at the house and knocked on the door. The door opens, and all I can see is the guy's head sticking out from around the door with his body behind it.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
so you just saw him.
He just saw his head. Yeah. But I think what he's laying the scene is he just saw his head.
Yeah.
He didn't like.
I opened the door and his dismembered head.
I thought he literally meant like I saw his head with his body also.
Like I opened the door and just saw his head. The body was behind the door. Yeah. I enter his house and proceed into the kitchen with him walking behind me. As I walk into the kitchen, the entire floor is covered in soaking wet clothes. Being used to seeing random stuff like this on a daily basis, I just got down on my knees.
As a person in the world.
As a plumber, on a daily basis, I just got down on my knees to get into...
It's got wet for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
I just got down on my knees to get into the sink cupboard to sort out the leak. The next thing,
like previous time it was Dan kneeling in something wet.
Yeah, it was.
A plumber, so that's probably
he's a plumber, so it's something else wet.
They like, listen, you got to handle wet.
Yeah, exactly. The next thing that happens is my hands slip and hit the underside of the sink, which causes a bang and a vibration. As I brought my head out from under the sink, I look up, and the kitchen worktop was covered in dirty mugs and bowls. And out of those came an army of flies. After a few more minutes, I get the leak fixed and swivel round on my knees to tell the customer that the leak is fixed. And the reason why he opened the door like he did became clear. I'm on my knees on a wet kitchen floor covered in wet clothes and turn around to see this guy's cock about a metre from my face.
I was afraid it was going to be that.
All he was wearing was a green...
What tipped you off to that?
All he was wearing was a green T-shirt and some walking boots.
So he was like
Winnie the Pooh in it. He's full Pooh Bear.
I then stand up and say, "Where are your fucking clothes, mate?" To which he responds...
I don't have any honey.
He responds, "Well, they're on the floor, trying to soak up the water, aren't they?"
No way. So he was just like, oh fuck, there's a leak, and just starts straight. He's just like the closest fabric. Yeah.
He's like, oh, my trousers are quite absorbent. My boxers are quite absorbent.
So, I don't want to use up my towels. That's for my body.
And not this gorgeous green T-shirt.
Not my favourite green T-shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So this guy...
Woof.
Oh god!
So the guy was like, he answered the door.
He answered the door,
clearly hiding his bottom half, so he didn't see it. He goes, yeah, come in, boyo, come in. And then he like goes
don't let the outside world see my knob. You can see it in a moment.
You can see it eventually, but and then
there's no way you're seeing my cock in Cardiff tonight.
And then he walks in and he goes and he's like, okay, floor's covered in wet clothes. All right, okay, there's this. Okay, there's dirty dishes. There's sinks coming out. There's something wrong here. And then he turns around and it's just cock. And the guy had clearly, he'd just not seen the guy beforehand. He just focused on the job, was like, cool, here I am, hasn't given him a full measure, and then gets his full measure.
Yeah, this Dan guy seems cool. I feel like he wouldn't mind the cock out in the face. No, I feel like...
Where are your clothes? All on the floor. Couldn't spare a pair of trousers or just underwear.
He's clearly,
how much is a pair of underwear?
Literally, it's like he's clearly pieced together that I've used all the clothes to mop up, and that's why I'm naked.
Mm-hmm. And that is a justifiable reason.
I think the best bit of world building in this whole thing is the least relevant to the story is the flies
coming out
and
of
all the
sink.
dirty dishes.
Yeah.
That was the omen. It was like the cock is coming. It was like a Lord of the Rings thing. Yeah. Different kind of fly swatter. Yeah.
The flies are trying to be like, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Leave while you can.
Is that everything?
I think that's everything.
That's it for the main meat of the podcast.
Yeah.
Right, top and bottom, spin the wheel.
So, you are familiar with what this is, but for the people who aren't, top and bottom is a section where we spin a wheel of categories, and whatever it lands on, we ask our guest what their top and bottom answer is in each of these categories. So, should we see what you are up against?
Perhaps the straightest definition of top and bottom.
It is exactly.
Oh, films.
Oh yeah,
Go on,
I love the films. I love oh gosh, best ever and worst ever film.
Yeah.
Gosh almighty. Well, I guess it's in theme. I've been talking about it to everyone in my life, so I might as well get it on the record. I on my one day off from doing the Edinburgh Festival, you get one day off. You do like 24 shows total.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't want to go see a show. I wasn't going to go see people's shows, but I was like, I just don't want to do that. So I got really high and I got a margarita pizza, and then I went to see Weapons in the cinema.
Oh, I've not seen it.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good! It's like the best opening of a film I've seen, the best ending of a film I've seen, and I'll tell you what, the middle also great as well. It's like a horror. So basically, I won't, because you guys, I don't want to talk about it too long if you haven't seen it.
Sure.
But the premise is basically at 2:17 in an American suburb, all the children in this one class open the doors and run out into the night, and except for one child that didn't go to who turned up to class that day, and it's basically about how the town figures out what happened, but like you will not predict what happens moment to moment.
That sounds cool, yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. I was by myself laughing out loud. Like, you're so in it. It was just really great. So I guess
Weapons is currently a top film for you. Then.
Yeah, I would say I would say top film that I've seen so far this year. I would say.
Nice.
What about bottom?
We watched a bunch of friends and I watched Megalopolis together.
Oh my god! Yeah, I've heard that is.
But both very current. I'm very up to date on one.
Yeah.
But it was very like it was bad to the point where it was like it's made with bad intention. Mm-hmm. Like it's not even like you can laugh at. It's like, oh no, where you're coming from is ill intended, and like.
Every clip I've seen from Megalopolis is just a wild fucking ride.
Yeah, it's an old guy trying to make sense of the modern world and failing spectacularly. It's a guy, and I'm more excited to see the documentary about it.
Oh my god, inevitably.
But but you just like it was just bad, and it was bad in a way that wasn't fun. Like when it's like sometimes fun to watch a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, can you believe they said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour long situation.
Oh, yeah,
so you get to the second hour and you're just like, okay, all right, this is actually beginning to get quite draining.
Yeah.
It sounds fucking dreadful.
Yeah. It was bad.
Every clip I've seen from it has been fucking dreadful.
Yeah, truly. What was your tops and bottoms? We didn't even.
I've got one for bottom that like just screams to mind. It's probably not. Maybe it might not be the worst film I've ever seen. But one film that was absolutely atrocious, and I can't believe I saw it through to the end, but I kind of, when you watch something, you're like, this is awful. I just want to see if it has any redeemable qualities.
Oh, completely. Okay.
Oh, man,
It's Irish Wish on Netflix. It's a Lindsay Lohan film.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of her new, it's like a sort of, like she had this deal with Netflix, and this is no shade on Lindsay Lohan, like she has made such a comeback, but like, it's like one of the like Netflix Hallmark kind of movies that she made. It's the way it's shot, the cinematography, the dialogue, the effects, everything about it is a fucking car crash, honestly. And it's not funny, it's not dramatic, it's not moving.
I
love same.
I would actually love.
Terrible
the thing is, I'd love for you to watch it.
Oh, I
so that we could bitch about it.
Yes. Yeah. What was the top though? What was
Pride?
Pride is a great movie.
Pride. I
choice.
adore Pride. It is. I remember going to watch it because my acting mentor at the time in 2014 she went to the premiere with the director because they were friends, and she was like, everybody needs to watch this. So I went to the cinema. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I took my then Marine boyfriend to watch it, and he cried. And he was like, yeah, this is banging. And it is...
He'll get you.
Everything. It's got everything I love. It is a British comedy with a lot of heart. and a really great story. It's a true story. It's about the best of humanity coming together against some of the worst of humanity. A banging soundtrack. Cinematography is brilliant. It's just everything I love in a film is in Pride. And I'll also say the first Pirates of the Caribbean film, but that's just a nostalgia children thing for me. Like when I was a kid, that was my obsessive watch.
Can I just say, just off the back of that, I had a friend once who similarly was very effusively, shout out Alex if you're watching, and like it was very effusively talking about Pride, and I was just like, "What? How come it's resonated so much with you?" And they were just like, "Well, I'm gay, Dan." It was like, yes, quite right, yes. And your final top and bottom?
So just for the sake of time, bottom, Birdemic, which is the best.
That sounds amazing. Film. I'm already in.
You need to watch it. Like
Birdemic.
It's like a 2-hour, really, really cheap B movie knockoff of The Birds.
Okay.
And it's like a weird, like environmental film, and like the first hour is just like there's no tripod, there's no ADR, there's no dubbing. It's just what you see is how they filmed it. I'm surprised it's even edited. And then the birds show up and start attacking, and they're like 2D cutouts of pictures of birds like this and like this. Just watch it. Just look at it. Look it up. Look up the trailer for Birdemic.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Birdemic.
And then top. I'm not going to go through my actual favorite films. I'm going to say what I consider to be the best film of all time.
Okay.
And I will put. You could name any film, and I'll put this film against it.
Okay.
Shrek 2. I'll put Shrek 2 against any film. You could, people say The Godfather 2, right? It's pure cinema. It has everything. Shrek 2.
Yeah, it is. There's some really great cinema in Shrek 2. Because
also,
they don't make them like that anymore. Yeah. To be fair, I can picture Shrek in Pride, the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like he'd be with the miners and
he'd be all for it.
Yeah.
He'd be with the homophobic miners. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever received, Dan?
Oh God.
You don't have to answer.
Watch Megalopolis, I guess. But I think it was like. I guess it was a lot of the time when people give you advice, they're just telling you what they would do. Yeah. And sometimes you need to be like, no, that's just what you would. I don't want to be you, or I don't want to do. Sometimes people give you advice. They're like, you should do what I do, and here's what I would do.
Yeah.
I think it was like being less niche with joke writing or something. There was a comedian who was very patronizing.
Oh, really?
In the early days, where he was like, which I mean, I think he was trying to help and he was trying to be nice, but he was being like, you just need to write more broader jokes, more so people get.
No, you gotta be you.
And I was just like,
you gotta do what you find funny, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what I thought, because that's what I thought comedy was for. But that was a classic of like someone telling you. The people really, when people give you advice, they're just telling you about themselves. They're not really,
you don't need to give us the worst piece of advice. Let's just pick that apart.
Just like whenever anyone gives me advice, I'm like, slow down. Let's talk about you. But during my show, Boy Boss, there was a section where I asked the audience, "What's your favorite Pixar movie?" It's like a kind of crowd work game to relate to other stuff.
Wall-E,
yeah, and I guess if you want
to. Toy Story.
Toy Story would be up there. I don't know if
Toy Story's good. What are you gatekeeping a kid's movie for?
Toy Story 2.
Yeah, Toy Story 2. There you go. Yeah. It's like the Shrek 2 of Toy Story. It's like,
I'm going.
Wait, is it? Hang on. Coco's Pixar, isn't it?
Say that again.
Coco. Hands down, Coco. One of the best films ever invented is Coco.
I can't watch the last half hour of
Coco.
It cuts to the core of you, doesn't it?
Inside 2 did that to me. I watched Inside 2.
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2, and Matt had to console me for half an hour.
Was it Bing Bong?
Because it was Inside Out 2 is when it shows what it's like to have a panic attack with all the little things. I related to it so hard that I literally broke down for half an hour, and Matt was just stroking my back as I got all the tears out. This has gone very dark. And I was just I've never seen something so right at this as a kid. I would have felt so much better. Anyway,
but it's genuinely like again, honestly, like not to deep, it helps with that. They've started using that, haven't they? With kids. But in the moment of crowd work and you're trying to be in the moment and free and stuff, I accidentally go like, someone said Shrek 2, and I was like, oh, Shrek 2, like that, and I felt the crowd, like, it hasn't happened to me before. I felt them like, whoa, like, and like turn on me. I'm like, no, not our boy, not our guy.
That's
Shrek. Like, yeah. And I was like, and I
It was
kind of
just
wrote,
David.
but then
What you say?
It was just you.
David hired me out for a one-off show.
Yeah.
He paid me
As he does.
extortionate amounts. Yeah.
I do.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan, for being here.
Thank you so much for
You've
having
been
me.
Thanks for
great.
coming
This
Thank
was lovely.
you.
I really
Yeah.
loved that. Yeah, and if you guys are listening to this, keep listening, because this is a
Thank
really fun
you.
podcast. You guys
Do
flashed
what
me
the man
back to
says.
my
Yeah.
hospitality days.
Have
which
you got
I-
anything to plug?
Yes, actually, I'm doing a one-off show of my show Boy Boss in London at the Canal Cafe Theatre on the 11th of November. It's a special taping, so we would really love to push tickets for that.
Nice.
I think when this comes out, that'll be happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, please come, please buy
Yeah,
tickets.
this will come out in, I think,
Um,
October, so
The
yeah.
ticket link should be
Yes.
available by then. I think we've sent all the stuff, but yeah, it should be really fun, and we're filming it, so we really want to pack it out and get loads of people in. So please come see it. It's the
Go,
last
go,
one.
go.
Last
Get your
chance.
tickets.
Yes, go. Amazing. Thank you. How to
Yeah.
Train Your Dragon. Love how to. The new
Yeah,
one's
great.
great.
Is
New
it-
one's
the live
great.
act- Is it good?
It is good. I
Okay,
really
just
enjoyed
don't
it.
have
I love.
any
I
I
interest
love
in it.
the yeah.
I
yeah.
listen to that soundtrack when I'm lime cycling. Like, oh, there's other electronic
And
bikes
whatever
out there
helps you cycle.
through London. Like,
Yeah.
I have the soundtrack to How to Train Your Dragon, the live action,
That's pretty
going in
good.
my ears.
That's
Then you
powerful.
can't
Makes
say
me-
shit about
yeah.
Shrek 2.
Yeah.
I'm not saying shit about it. It's a great film.
Look, Phoebe, I care like this when Shrek comes up,
Yeah,
okay?
God. You guys just mended the fences.
Is it
between
because you
you.
are Shrek?
Yeah. With pride.